Yeah, one of the best experiences. Had a chance to go to a nooner at the Nat last year, and today they are playing Spokane. So we thought we'd preview one of the newest concession items, and it involves caramel. Stay with us. You're watching BT. We'll be right back. Cooking up one of their newest menu items. We're back here. It's almost like we're backstage once again here at Nat Bailey Stadium. And Matthew, what would you say is the most popular item in concession?
I would say probably the Nathan's hot dog. On any given game day, we will sell probably close to about 900 hot dogs.
Wow.
We also have hamburgers and, like you said, the newest apple turnover here.
Okay, so an apple turnover here. So it's your straightforward, delicious deep fried goodness,
just like Grandma used to make, caramel and ice cream.
How wonderful. So 900 hot dogs. Get us some of the few other stats, because you guys sell like corn dogs. I love my corn dogs too.
Corn dogs,
those are one of my favorites.
We do a foot-long corn dog, and we do about 30 of those, and we sell a lot of hamburgers.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. How do you like your hot dog prepared?
Fully loaded bacon, onions. So with the apple turnover, we can sell it at the coffee and ice cream concession stand, and we also sell cookies there.
Sushi is something you have here as well.
Yes.
So for anyone that wants a little bit of sushi, I myself though, Matthew, I'm a hot dog person. I really love a good hot dog, and you might want to catch the nooner at the Nat happening here again at 1:05, by the way, at Nat Bailey Stadium, where they take on Spokane. But back at the station, check this out. So this is how I like my hot dog too.
Whoa.
Oh, I really like.
Whoa.
I really like
Easy, girl.
my hot dog. 2-foot-long hot dog, by the way, $13.95. Exceptional value, don't you think? Look at that.
That's a value right there.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I think I told you guys this before, that for years I played softball, and I used to be okay. Somehow in my adult life, I ended up not being able to throw it all. So you know what? Why not get a throwing lesson from superstar pitcher of the Canadians, Andrew Case? We're going to talk about his signature pitch and the relationship between a pitcher and back catcher up next. Be right back. You got it right, Riaz. I literally, for some reason, I started throwing like a shot put, but Andrew, I got a little bit better, right?
Yes, you did.
And yeah, right. You're just saying that to be nice, because he's the only Canadian on the Canadians, and us Canadians are nice. How you doing
That's
this morning?
a stereotype.
I know it's a stereotype, but it's true in this case. You, of course, pitched for the Canadians. Are you pretty excited about the nooner today?
Yes, I am. A good season ahead of us. I'm excited. Being the only Canadian, I got a lot of support behind me. I'm looking forward to a good season and see where everything goes from there.
Awesome. Let's talk about the choreography of a pitch, because it's a very poetic thing that happens, and there's a whole process to it. Talk about that if you can.
You don't have to be a good dancer, that's for sure. But start with the ball and glove, and you go through your mechanics. Start your leg up, balance, and just follow through with your pitch.
Just that simple.
That's
what is your
simple.
signature pitch?
A lot of people like to get creative and cute. Me, simple. Just four-seam fastball.
Okay, four-seam fastball. So show that too. I'm going to see if I can grip it properly.
There.
So is there a different version of fastball as well?
Yeah, a two-seam that dips away from the hitter will go that way. And that's right in the middle of the two seams.
Okay. Just like this. Something like that?
Yeah, and then to fool the hitter, you mix in a slider and get him to jump out of the way, and maybe a nice swing and miss.
So from the perspective of a batter, when you throw a fastball, what does that look like? I mean, I know it goes fast, but the way the ball is, can they tell, the batter tell what you've thrown once it starts to approach them?
They'll see the different spin on the ball.
Okay, so how does that differ then?
Fastball will just come out of your fingers like this. It'll just be a straight spin. When you throw a slider at them, it will spin this way. And this thing, the horseshoe will circle, and it'll kind of mess with his head, so he'll duck out of the way or whatever he'll do to swing and miss to get the out.
Now I gotta ask, when you're on the mound there, and of course you've got the back catcher giving you whatever signals, when you give the shake off, are you allowed, like what, you're saying, no, I'm sorry man, I'm not doing that, I don't,
Early in the game, it's your decision, but later in the game, usually the pitching coach comes in and steps in, so you don't shake him off or you'll get in trouble. But early in the game, if you want to shake your catcher off, that's between you and him.
Well, I tell you what, you can come and catch the nooner at the Nat here at Nat Bailey Stadium, happening at 1:05. You guys are taking on Spokane. Coming up in the next segment there, back at the station, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Nat Bailey Stadium, and there is quite the history here. Yeah, thanks very much. We're just getting ready for the nooner at the Nat happening here at Nat Bailey Stadium, which, by the way, has a really great history. We're going to learn about that history, plus about the great work that the Vancouver Canadians do in our community. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yeah, and it's quite, we were talking to Andrew earlier about the choreography of a pitch, but there's quite the choreography that has nothing to do with baseball that happens during a game, Jake. The dancing, the mascots, everything.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And a great history, of course, here at Nat Bailey Stadium. First of all, many people who are just watching, they might notice I'm wearing a different jersey. What's the deal with this one?
This is the new deal for this year. That's our new, people call it a mascot. It's really a trademark. It's part of the whole retro theme at the stadium. The most famous team we ever had here was the Mounties in the 1950s. So that's Monty the Mountie.
There you go. And speaking of famous, this scoreboard has a bit of a story too.
It does. This is we believe, the second only manually operated scoreboard in North America. Wrigley Field in Chicago has one. And there's literally a young man who's a summer job out there who puts the numbers in after each inning. And it's been here since 1951 when the stadium was built. It came from Seattle in the 1930s. People called the Six, S-I-C-K-S, owned the team. They were the Six Seattle Rainiers, and here is Capilano Beer, so it's Capilano Stadium in those days.
Wonderful.
In any case, we kept it.
A lot of pressure for the kid that's working that
Absolutely.
scoreboard.
Very much.
Thank you very much, Jake.
Yeah.
Let's talk, Jeff, a little bit about the great work that the Vancouver Canadians do in the community.
Thank you, Dawn. But first of all, I've got to tell you, you may be the worst baseball pitcher I've ever seen. But just a little shot there for you after that
okay.
shot put thought.
I want a root beer float for that
All
little
right.
dig there, okay?
You got one.
Tell us about the foundation.
Well, Jake and I and Andy Dunn, our president, decided some years ago how important community was to minor league baseball. It's all about community. We formed a foundation. We work with the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Coast BC. We'll have about 300 children out here in about a month's time. Playing baseball, and these are kids who, with the Boys and Girls Clubs, couldn't otherwise play baseball. It costs a lot of money to put a kid into baseball today, and we cover all of that, give them equipment, and they learn the values of teamwork and so on through this. So we're really proud of what's happening with that.
Wonderful, and great mentorship camps as well. By the way, of course, you can catch the Nooner at the Nat happening today when the Vancouver Canadians take on Spokane. 1:05 is the time. It's always a great time there, guys. And as you heard moments ago, and as I've been critiqued so many times, Jeff Mooney did say I am potentially the worst thrower, worst pitcher he has ever seen. However, breaking news, I will be throwing the opening pitch at an upcoming Vancouver Canadians game, which means I've got some time to work on it. So I think we need to pull all our resources, every athlete we ever have met, every Canadian, every Canuck. Perhaps you can offer me some tips there, Jody. I need to get into training mode for that opening pitch, and we'll keep our viewers up to date on what date that will be. Here right now at Nat Bailey Stadium, getting ready for the Nooner at the Nat, and oh yes, we couldn't finish our show without having the famous sushi mascot race. That's coming up next on BT. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Who's going to win? And you guys are talking about clothing, and if anyone's been watching all morning, they'll notice that I was wearing a different jersey every time. Jeff, which one am I wearing right now?
You're wearing the Vancouver Canadians road jersey.
Excellent. Well, I'm loving all the styles right now. And I tell you, the ones that have styles here at the game, if they make their way here, are the groundskeepers. They are hard at work right now.
Absolutely. They're getting ready for the field, making sure that it's top-notch and quality for our players today.
Which is why we're not standing on the field right now, because we want to make sure it's perfect for the Nooner at the Nat. But we are now getting ready for the big sushi mascot race. Let's introduce who our competitors are right now.
So on the far left, we've got Mr. Kapamaki. On the far right, we've got Miss BC Roll. And in the middle, we've got the infamous Chef Wasabi.
And are you making a call on who you think is going to be?
I think Chef Wasabi is going to win. He's pretty dominant, and he almost always pulls off the win. So
now, for anyone that comes to the game, this is something that happens at every game, right?
Absolutely. So all of our sushi mascots race at the end of the third inning. They race around the bases, and every game is a different winner. So.
Excellent. It's always a good time when you make your way here to the Nooner at the Nat. Today, by the way, playing Spokane, and there's a doubleheader today, Jeff.
That's right. So the first game starts at 1:05, and it's a continuation of the game yesterday. And then at the conclusion of that game, we play a 7-inning game.
Okay, so we got the finish line all ready to go.
Okay.
You at home, you should try to think about who you think is going to win here. So we're all set. Are you ready, Jeff?
Ready to go.
Okay, on your mark, get set,
go.
Go Sushis. All right. So we see Wasabi.
Oh, Chef
make his way,
Wasabi's lost
and
his
he's
hat.
lost his hat. Working really, really hard. Kapamaki, he's taking him out, and I think that was
photo finish. I think Miss BC Roll's got it though.
Miss BC Roll. We're going for Miss BC Roll once again. The Vancouver Canadians taking on Spokane. Come on over here, Sushis. It was a close one, but it's a lot of fun here. Make your way here to Nooner at the Nat. Of course, the Vancouver Canadians taking on Spokane. Come on in, Jeff. Big group shot here. Big group shot.